mama told me when I was young, said sit beside me, my only son, and listen closely to what I say, and if you do this, it'll help you some sunny day. It will. Or take your time, don't live too fast. Troubles will come and they will pass. You'll find a woman and you'll find love. And don't forget that there is a someone up above. And be a simple kind of man. Be something you love and understand. Baby, be a simple kind of man. Oh, won't you do this for me, son, if you can? Get your love from the rich man's gold. All that you need now is in your soul. And you can do this from me, my son. It's to be satisfied in the you love and understand. Baby, be a simple kind of man. Won't you do this for me, son? Oh, don't you worry, you'll find yourself. Follow your heart and nothing else. You can do this, oh baby. It's to be satisfied and be a simple kind of man. Won't you do this for me, son? He can. So baby, be a simple man. Oh, won't you do this for me, son, if you can?
Week, man.
Man, we're 2 days away from finding out who gets paid and who goes home broke.
Yeah, man. It's awesome, dude. About the contest that's been going on and kind of explain to how some of you guys who are not degenerates out there what it actually means to actually bet and gamble on the lines and stuff like that we got going on, man. And do this a little bit, here and there. So, man, let me go ahead and go over the Sweet 16 here, man. Man, that bracket looks
And, just for the record, I'm a pro at losing.
for sure. Versus Con Ackelman taking on Blake Power, Shad Schaefer on Marty Hughes, and Sherman Bishop and Silas Garrett. Yeah, that's gonna be cool, man.
That's up in the southeast. Interesting.
Yeah, man, me too. Probably the most stacked Sweet 16 we've had, man, by far.
It doesn't even come close.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, man. Seems like the internet is a little slow. We're trying it out, guys. I'm sorry about the hurricane and all that stuff that came through and the tropical storm. Connectivity is a little bit challenging tonight, guys, but we're going to try to do our best and see what we got. So just bear with us. But hopefully the hamster won't die on the hamster wheel, right? But hopefully the connectivity can work it out. But hey, man, so we came up with this contest, which is pretty unique, man. And we came up with a contest showing basically we created some Vegas style lines. And guys, a lot of people don't understand, Vegas style lines, how to gamble and all that stuff. We're not here to gamble. We're not here to be the house or anything like that. It's illegal. But we wanted to add a little bit something fun, a little bit more interest to, to the tournament. And what makes college basketball so great is the brackets, but also it makes it great because it's one of the most highest gambling events in the country. Vegas is unbelievably attentive when it comes to stuff like that. The NFL, college basketball, things like that is what makes it great. And we wanted to kind of bring a little bit more attention to the tournament, and and do something that's really unique. Because if you have something invested into the games themselves, you're more likely to watch and more likely to get involved in it. And so we wanted to bring something that it's one thing to be cheering on your angler and all that stuff, and that's great, man. But we wanted to add a little bit of spice to it, and we have a contest out there. It's posted on KBBT on Facebook, and the way it works is, we set Vegas lines, and how we came with those lines is historical data. And these guys in Vegas just don't pull numbers out of a hat. They actually go back to historical data. They look at trends and everything else. And I kind of looked at all the statistics and everything else. Came up with a Vegas style model, and a lot of the guys were asking, "How in the heck do you work this?" And so, what I want to do is I want to kind of go over those the odds that we have posted here for the tournament, and help you through being able to create your lineup or your ticket, and show you exactly how this works. And as I said, Marcus and I are pretty good at this, when it comes to reading lines and creating lines. But what I want to do is help you through and understanding exactly what you're looking at when you look at the bet sheet. Now, again, the way it's going to work is you're going to have $1,000 play money, right? You have $1,000 play money. You have to make 5 bets, and the reason why we're doing 5 bets is because it allows a little bit more variance. If you just lay, $1,000 on somebody, then it kind of doesn't allow you to get more involved in the other tournaments, and so what we want to do is make it a 5-bet minimum. And what you do is you go in here on the sheet that was provided, or the odds sheets that's provided. I want to show you some things that you can see that will allow you to make decisions on what you want to bet. So let's look at the very first line, which is Jason Campbell versus Keelan Kyle. And beside each name, Jason Campbell has a minus 130 right there, and then Keelan has a plus 115. Anytime that you see a minus by their name, they're a favorite. So if you lay $100 down on Jason Campbell at minus 130, your payout is $70, right? So what you do is if you bet 100, if Jason wins outright, you win 70, so you're collecting $170. Now, next to that number is a minus 3.5. That means Jason's favored by 3.5 inches over Keelan Kyle, and that's the spread. Now, if you bet $100, that means that you're going to win. It says minus 110. That means you're going to win $90. So that means that you're going to win a total payout of $190. Now, it might be better to play the spread because you're going to get a higher payout than actually than betting the actual line, because the line is at minus 130, which is a little worse odds than the spread, which is minus 110. And then you're better off picking either Jason or Keelan based on the spread. And also, if you look at the next line, which is the over-unders, the combined inches between Jason and Keelan, we set the line to be 176 3/4. And you can choose to bet that either over or under that number. And so it's very simple when it comes to that. Now, if you go through the sheet, I'm going to point your attention to the John Fox, Tim Gurley line. which is in the middle of the page there. John Fox is a heavy favorite. He's at minus 300. Okay, and then Tim Gurley is plus 450. John is favored by 18.75 inches. If Tim wins, that's plus 450. That means if you bet $100 on Tim, you're going to win $450. So your payback's going to be $550. So we've already had some guys bet on Tim on the money line. If Tim wins outright, that's big time payout, and I mean you're going to be basically up the leaderboard just based on the sole fact that if Tim wins. So anyway, it allows you to kind of get involved in the deal. It brings a lot of interest. Why do you think football is so popular now? You know why? Because of Vegas lines and fantasy. And believe it or not, next year that's what we're going to kind of focus on for the year. You're going to be able to take some guys, and you're going to be able to play fantasy. We're going to be doing fantasy sports with KBBT, and we're going to kind of do this Vegas-style line stuff. Add a little bit more interest to it, man, and just have some fun. Again, we're not going to, there's no real gambling or anything like that, but it's just going to add a little bit gamesmanship and games and stuff like that with what we do. And again, it just allows you guys to get invested what happens here. So it's going to be a lot of fun. The matchup is dead even. Is the Conrad Benetti Matt Kasparek matchup, and you can see each line is set at 105. It means they're each tied at 105. It's just a coin flip. There is no favorite in terms of the line is even, and then the over under is 193.75. Now I want you to understand something. Matt Kasparek has challenged Conrad to a one bait one rod matchup. So these guys posted 97 and 98 inches last week, but they had their entire tackle box with them. That over-under is a little lower because of one rod, one bait. So you just got to know that information. And you really get depth into it. You got to look at and pay attention to the weather. You know what I mean? So, these odds and everything else could change based on weather and how it's bet and all that stuff. So the way you do it is you post your ticket in Facebook. Just post, and you can look at the format. Like Marcus did a great job on how he posted his ticket. Kind of follow that format, and Marcus and I are kind of keeping spreadsheets and keeping your tickets. And then we'll announce a winner Saturday night, and you win a $250 prize pack with KBBT. It's going to include shirts, coffee. It's going to include baits and all sorts of stuff. We're going to just send it out to you, and have a good time with it. So anyway, it's just going to be great, man. Well, again, happy Sweet 16 weekend, guys. This is going to be incredible. It'll be a heck of a lot of fun. And Marcus, man, talk to me, baby.
Man, I mean, you hit it on the head. I mean, Greg did a great job with these lines. He, it's hard. It's supposed to be hard to pick a line. I mean, that's what makes Vegas money. Vegas makes money because they don't make lines easy to pick. They know, they do the research, and that's what we've kind of tried to put into this place. And we decided to go ahead and test it out, and hopefully, we can, put something like this towards every event. We've even considered, opening things up as the season wears to an end here after this bracket's over, and, maybe even doing some Southern-style fish-offs with stuff like this set up. But it's a great idea. We've got some freaking amazing anglers. Texas and Florida kind of took over the bracket, but we still got some stragglers in there from other states that made sure that they kept their welcoming in. Captain's meeting is going to be at 7 o'clock Central Time tomorrow. We'll make our famous broadcaster picks, talk a little bit more about the favorited matchups that were chosen of the week, and of course we're going to be broadcasting for at least half the day on Saturday, making sure that all you guys get to get to be shown on camera. Now, there is going to be a little bit of a mix-up in the broadcast. I'm doing the Sweet 16. I'm not sure if either Greg himself or Todd's doing the Elite Eight, and then Todd is doing the Final Four and Championship as me and Greg are rolling out to Chick. Greg, are you broadcasting the Elite Eight?
Yeah, I'll be doing the Elite Eight. Mm-hmm.
So you guys get a little taste of all three different broadcasters in this matchup. All the Sweet 16 guys, all your pictures, names, and shirt sizes have been sent over to Exotic. So we're just, waiting on all that, but it's all been sent over. And moving into this matchup, this is what determines if you take home a check and a trophy or if you just go home with a shirt.
Yeah. No doubt, man. I mean, I'm super excited, man. And one thing I wanted to kind of to do now is, now we're at the Sweet 16 in the final, um, the final tournament of the year. I want to kind of relay back and just kind of take a step back and kind of reminisce. Again, next week. I mean, I'm sorry, tomorrow we're going to be doing our picks and all that stuff. We're not going to do that tonight, but we're going to get all the sponsors on. Kind of just take a step back and kind of let you guys know, those of you new to KBBT, how it all started. And then, I was looking back at some of the videos that we did back in, March and everything else. It's been incredible, man. How things have just, progressed and how everybody's really chipped in and made this really a family. And it's unbelievable the year we've had. And, unfortunately, we've gone through as a nation, we've gone through some terrible things with COVID, shutting down the entire nation. A lot of the big three, so to speak, in terms of KBF and Bass and Hobie, they weren't able to facilitate tournaments in the earlier of the year. And so, we just came up with this idea, the fact that we did not have a college basketball bracket really broke my heart, man. As a sports fanatic, we didn't have the ability to do that. And so everything was kind of pushed into the fall, but there was this void. There was this void of, being a sportsman, being an outdoorsman, not being able to fish tournaments. I had to get my competitive nature going, and so we've created this bracket, and it was immediate support. And I can't thank you guys enough about joining in, throwing your ideas out there, having Marcus jump in. I remember that the day he said, "Hey man, what are you gonna do for broadcasting?" I'm like, "I have no freaking clue." I'm just gonna go out there and do it. And Marcus was like, "Hey man." Yeah, and he goes, "Yeah, I'll be happy to help you, man." And it was like, literally that night, I taught him how to use OBS because I just learned how to use it. And, he picked it up immediately, and man, we just started broadcasting. I remember doing a Saturday, and then Marcus did a Sunday, and then, it was just game on from there. And it was incredible. And, then Todd came on board, and, we just started, kind of making this backyard fiasco work. And, KBBT kind of took off. And we've had our challenges, man. We've had our issues and stuff like that. It's like anything else, man. But I'll tell you what, I had the opportunity to go on the road and meet some of our anglers, and it was an experience of a lifetime. And we have grown as a community. We are continuing to grow. I think we're in the very beginning stages of this. A lot of people want us to fail. A lot of people want us to kind of just turn the other page and kind of hand the keys over to all the live events. I hate to tell you, man, we ain't going anywhere. In fact, we're going to really expand and do things more creatively than ever before. This is our first year. And, and any good business has a 3 to 5 year business plan. We don't consider this as a business, man. We consider this fun. This is really not a business for us. There's a lot of expenditure that goes out, with what we do. Believe it or not, there's a lot of expenditures that goes out with it. But the Lord's blessed me and my family to be able to do this. And, how can you support us? Well, become a member. Go to bassbracket.com, become a member. Buy some shirts, buy some whatever, whatever you're trying to do. Just support us that way. That would be wonderful. And, we try to, pay, some of our guys out. I mean, this, Marcus, man, we weren't able to do a lot of things for you and Todd this year. We did what we could. But we don't do this just to get paid. We do this for the heart and growing the sport, and because we love it. And we benefit tremendously. I benefited intrinsically because I've learned so much from anglers out there, and just understanding and really truly seeing the hospitality. There's not a amount of money in a bank account anywhere in this world that could ever replace the relationships that we were able to gather and the family that we were able to put together this year through KBBT, man. It has been unbelievable, and I have friends for life, man, because of it. And again, you could take everything away from me today. I will still always hold on to the friendships that I've gained this year, and really the family I've gained this year. And I just want to thank each and every one of you for making KBBT a success the way it has. And it's more than just a piece of paper. It's more than just a bracket. It's more than just numbers and the wins and losses and everything else, man. It's been a heck of a lot of fun, and man, what a year!
Oh man, I mean, you hit the you know the nail on the head. I mean, hell, the first two brackets we paid for the trophies out of our own pockets to make sure they got what they awarded. You know, we still pay for all the shipping and everything. We like to take care of you guys. It's not about making money on our end. I promise. We didn't pocket hardly anything. If anything, it all went
No.
back to you guys. And you know, let's not forget about the memories. I mean, who's going to forget about the day Jonathan Pepin went up against Eric Siddiqui, or the Conrad Benetti Rodney Kennan, or Conrad Benetti Silas Garrett matchups, or the day that I rolled into town and there was a blockbuster party waiting on me because I won, or when Clifton Allen, the Real People's champ, announced he was fishing the KBBT. I mean, these are memories that are never going to go away. You know, I'm stuck telling everybody about it still, and I cannot wait for our second season into this. You anglers have been phenomenal. The friendships made. I mean, we kind of laugh and joke and say we started a cult because we got such a tight knit of kayak fishermen. I mean, you guys are nothing short of phenomenal, and I could not thank each and every one of you for all the support and the watches and the views and the emotion that you've all brought to the table with KBBT. It's not just about competing or winning even. I mean, Greg hasn't won a single round yet, and we love him every time he's on. I mean, it's just about having all you guys a part of it. And from the bottom of my heart, thank each and every one of you.
Yeah, again, well said, man. Well said. Everybody's commenting. They're wanting to know what the hell's wrong with you, man. You had, did you shave your beard or something, man? You look like Conor McGregor.
Well, I decided to move. You know, every once in a while, wrestlers jump from stage to stage. While everybody was calling me Daniel Bryan, so I figured I would switch over to UFC and become Conor McGregor for a while.
Just don't be pitching a bunch of terrible whiskey.
that and Sherman Bishop thinks that the only reason I was winning was because of the power of the beard, so I'm here to prove him that the power's in the fisherman.
Yeah, I hear you, man. I hear you. Joel
I didn't want to sleep on the couch.
Joel wanted to know you wearing makeup, man.
No makeup. It's just what my face looks like when it's not covered in hair.
Well, I think you look sharp, man. You look sharp. Don't listen to the naysayers, man.
The Ewok held a spear to my throat and said, "Cut it or I cut you."
That was one of the greatest Photoshops ever. I'm just walking through the woods with my 23-incher.
Yeah, like, what's happening?
Oh my god, that's hilarious. Well, I mean, so let's do this, man. Let's keep this on the up and up, man. Let's help some of these guys out today. If they're willing to put in a couple bets, let's kind of give them from a betting perspective. Tomorrow we're actually going to go into the actual matchups, but you know, obviously the actual matchups head to head are a little bit different from the actual betting matchups, right? So if we were going to help some of these guys out and kind of you know, show a ticket on each and every matchup we've got here, we got Jason Campbell versus Keelan Kyle Marcus. Jason's a minus 130. Keelan's a plus 115 on the money line. Jason is a minus 3.5 inch favorite, and the over/under is 176.75. What would be your bet on that particular matchup?
Man, there's two ways that I personally would go attack this. We've seen both these anglers have struggle days and great days. I mean, honestly, you could play the spread very well here. If we're being honest, Keelan Kyle's been a little bit more consistent than Jason Campbell as far as 5-bag limits and putting up a quick limit. But Jason's been more consistent in, if I need to find big fish, I'll go find them. I'd probably play the spread. I think Jason's on a little bit better of a bite right now. So I would probably take the favorite in that matchup. But what I'd really be interested in is the over-under on this, because you've got two Texas anglers. The weather's going to be beautiful this weekend, not going to be too cold. The lakes are already past their turnover dates everywhere around. So you've got a real good chance of at least both of them putting up, you know, high 80s, which could get you really close to that 174 mark. You know, in my opinion, overall, on the three options on this one, I think the overall best ways on.
You like the over. The line did move to 176 3/4. So
I'd still take the over.
yeah, so you still take the over. You know, I mean, I'm looking at it honestly. I would take Jason at the -3.5. I would take that line. I think Jason, you know, he's been in a consistent bite in the 90s. To be honest with you, I mean, it's gonna be hard to tell if he's gonna continue that or not. But I think you know, Keelan Kyle did put up a 92-inch bag last week. So, I truly think Jason's got something going for him. If you think Keelan, you know, is the outright winner in this, take the +115. But I think the next one's Joel Spear versus Clifton Allen. Pretty close line here. I mean, looks like Clifton's favored by 2.25 inches. Joel is a 115. He's a +115 on the money line. Clifton's a -130. The over under here is 175 3/4. What do you think you should do there?
Man, the problem is how is Arkansas going to fish? We've seen Joel throw up over 90 inches. We've seen Joel not even able to bust out 70. So that's the true question: is how is Arkansas going to fish? That alone makes me stay away from the over under. Both these anglers, if I'm not mistaken, neither one of these anglers have busted out 90 yet in the bracket system. I know they're both gunning from each other, but they're in my opinion, you're probably looking in the 160 range. But it's not guaranteed. Clifton is on a better water that's more consistent in the mid 80s, I think, than Joel's water is, at least in this time of year. Man, honestly, I'm probably, it's hard for me to even take what'd you say the money line was?
What, -130 for Clifton, +115 for Joel.
Yeah, I'd probably feel safer taking Clifton Allen as the favorite on the spread. That gives me 2.25?
2.25, yep.
Yeah, it gives me 2.25 inches. That's the difference of one fish. And if we take Joel's first week on the water, you know, Clifton had him by every bit of that. So it's tough to say after Joel's week 2 of performance, but I would take Clifton Allen with the spread on that one.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. Agree with you on the spread line. Actually, I would actually try to take the over on there. I think Clifton's going to that other lake that he loves so much, Mackinac or whatever it is. Mackinac. Yeah, I mean, I think Clifton could put in a pretty good bag there. I mean, Joel's pretty consistent in the mid 80s, but I think Clifton could break that 90 mark, maybe 92 or something. But I think the over here might be the play between Joel and Clifton. But yeah, you know, it's only 175 3/4, but I do think the over is the play here. Robert Smith versus J.R. Maccabee. Robert Smith is actually a +135. J.R. is a pretty heavy favorite at -160. J.R. has a 10.75 inch spread. I mean, as a favorite, and the over under is 178.5.
Man, I think this one here is going to be a guarantee to break that over, at least in my opinion. I think it's going to be a lot closer matchup than a lot of people think. You know, Robert Smith has to be riding a whole lot of momentum after taking out Ruben Martinez. J.R. Maccabee has been on a great bite here recently, but, you know, as we've seen so many times, great bites only last for so long. Not saying that he won't be right back in the over 90s again this week, but I think honestly, I think if I was going to place actual money on this on Vegas statistics, I'm going to take Robert Smith at the +10 3/4 because I'm not saying necessarily that he'll win, but I'm be a close match based on him and get taken off a tank like Ruben Martinez by like 6 inches.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I mean, I kind of like that too. You know, I'm going to go with you on that one. I'm going to say Robert Smith +10.75. Anytime that you go double digits like that, it's pretty hard. But I do like that. It's 10 3/4 inch. I like that line as well. All right, Conrad versus Matt, man. This is the the marquee matchup of the week, we believe. But Conrad Benetti taking on Matt. It's dead even across the board, -105 each on the money line. Over under 193.75.
First of all, especially knowing that they're going into this with one bait, one rod, I'm not touching that over under line. I'm not even going to get anywhere close to it. In fact, any competitors that are fishing one bait, one rod, if I was going to take that, I would definitely go with the under, just because they're at a huge advantage. But being the caliber of fishermen they are and the body of water they're on, it's not even safe taking that. Honestly, I would probably just go straight money line on, and I would probably take Kasparak only because he kind of goaded Conrad into this. So he's getting what he wants. That's going to put more confidence in his side of the equation. Plus, I think he might actually know Fellsmere a little bit better than Conrad, and that's what kind of makes me nervous, the fact that Conrad took that. But I would probably take Kasparak on the 105 money line.
Okay, I'm actually going to take the under on it. The 193.75 I think is a little too rich for the one bait, one rod. I mean, these guys are powerhouses, but there's about a 4 to 5 point movement, I think, in that line down from the what I thought would be the original under over. But again, these guys are hammers. They know Fellsmere, but having that one rod, one bait, I think you could play the under here and have a pretty good shot. I wouldn't be surprised, honestly, dude, if that number doesn't nail that number right on the dot. It'd be a push. But I think the under
very well could.
Yeah, I think the under is going to be the play. John Fox versus Tim Gurley. John is a minus 300 on the money line. Tim is a plus 450. The line opened up at 21.75 inches as John Fox being the favorite. It did move. People were hammering Tim Gurley on that plus 21.75, but John Fox is a minus 18.75, and the under-over is 182.
Man, I'm not. This is another one I kind of stay away from the over/under because it is Iowa, but we've seen Tim Gurley do magical things. But John Fox has been on an extreme consistent bite. I think this is one of those areas that you place your money somewhere, not necessarily a lot of it, but you take a gamble on a little bit and try to bring some out. Because even if you play the spread, you're not going to get as much as you would on the money line, but you're still going to get quite a bit of money. 21 3/4 was what it was originally. It dropped down to 18 3/4, if I'm not mistaken.
That's right.
So even that, I mean, that's a whole fish. It's worth the risk, but honestly, if you're gonna take the 18 3/4, you're almost tempted to hit that 450 money line because it is a huge. I mean, nobody expects Tim Gurley to come in here and take out John Fox, but if it happens, you're loading in on it. But man, that's a huge deficit to overcome. You got to think. I mean, if Tim Gurley can throw up 85 inches, that 18 3/4 inch mark.
Yeah, it goes away. I mean, it basically, yeah. If he can hit anywhere in the 80s, that's your spread basically is definitely in danger. But the over under is 182. I don't know, man. I think that's kind of high. I mean, it might be a little high, but if John Fox has another 103 inch day like he had last week, man, that over under is going to get tested. But man, I don't know. I do like John. I do like John and the 18.75, man, but the 18.75, I think John can actually cover that spread. And so, man, I'm going to take it. I'm going to take John Fox minus 18.75. So, yeah, I don't know. I think he can cover it, especially if it opened already at 21. But that's a big move, so I think John Fox can cover that.
I think Tim Gurley can at least throw up 85, so I'd have to take Tim Gurley on it.
Okay, well that's what moves lines, man. Jared Brockelman, he's a minus 220 favorite, minus 14.75 inch favorite on the spread. Blake Seabass is really a 280 underdog, and again the plus 14.75. Over under 170 1/4.
Man, on this one, it's tough because Jared Brockelman's still relatively a new angler to us and to everybody, but Seabass is determined. Jared's been an absolute hammer over the past 2 weeks, but again, 14 3/4. That's a whole fish. If Seabass can put relatively anything together, it's going to push that one. I'm not going to say that he would be able to take out Texas. I think Brockelman's just on too much of a run there. But this is going to be another one. I take the underdog just because of that huge spread line. I'm gonna take Seabass at 14 3/4 spread.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly I like the over here at 170 1/4. If Jared Brockelman hits anywhere in the 90s and Blake gets just above 80, then your over hits. I like the over here on that play at 170 1/4. I don't like the spread's too close to me. I was looking at some of these stats, man. That spread is, I think it's going to be dead on. I think it could be a push right there at that number. That's a great line right there. In fact, Jared's money line actually might go up in terms of a minus. So I mean, he's been getting hammered in terms of a lot of confidence in him on the money line. But I don't know, man. I think the over under is where to play there too. All right, Shad Schaefer versus Marty Hughes. This is a great matchup, man. Marty Hughes is I honestly I think it's a hefty 4.75 favorite. And the over under here's 172 3/4. Shad's money line's at plus 130, and Marty Hughes is minus 145.
This one, I'm totally hammering out the over on this. I think it's too shy of a number for two high caliber anglers. I wouldn't be surprised to see both of them in the low 90s, high 80s. I just think that the caliber of fishermen both those guys are, it's too risky to bet a spread either way. And even on the money lines, I'm not comfortable. I'm going to take the over on this one and I say it actually beats the over quite a bit, but only time will tell. But I'm definitely going to hammer the over on this one.
I think if there's any money line bet to play here on this board, I think Shad is a great value at plus 130. I actually like Shad straight up here, and I would bet the 130 line Shad straight up. You get a little bit better value than the minus 110, of course. But man, if you bet 100, you get 130. So your payout's 230 total. I think that's going to help you on your ticket. So I think Shad, if he pulls this win off, you get paid decently for that bet. And man, I think if anybody can take out Marty, it's going to be Shad. So I like that money line bet. Sherman Bishop minus 150. He's a minus 9.5 inch favorite here against Silas Garrett, who's a plus 180. That's quite a bit of an underdog. With this 175.75 over under. Oh, I think we lost. Yep, we sure did. We lost. Oh, here he is. Hold on one second here. He's coming on. Lost you there, buddy. But as he's
there we go. I got it now. Sorry about that.
Yeah, no worries. I was saying Sherman Bishop's a minus 150, minus 9.5 inch spread there for him. Silas Garrett's a plus 180 on the money line and a 175 1/4 over under.
Man, this is a really close one to me because we've seen so many different sides of Silas Garrett. We've seen him where he's crushing out 106, and we've seen him where he's dragging up like 57 to 66. Sherman, I think, is the more consistent angler in this one. Honestly, I don't know. I would be scared to take the money line or the over. The spread or the over. I would probably take money line on Sherman Bishop.
You like them? Okay. Yeah, all right. So I mean, you're obviously buying them at a pretty steep price there, man. I mean, you're going to get 50 out of 100. So, but that's a 50% return. That's not too bad. But I like Sherman Bishop at the 9.5 mark. I think he could beat Silas and give a little Florida revenge on Texas there. But I think Sherman could cover that 9.5 pretty easily. And I like the Sherman Bishop over there. Being the cover. So, well, that's it, guys. I mean, that's our odds night. You know how that's done. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun, guys. Check your tickets. Go ahead and just comment on the KBBT site. Post your tickets, and again, we have a spreadsheet. We'll keep everybody's payouts and all that good stuff, and it works just like Vegas. But it's gonna be a heck of a lot of fun. And again, you can kind of look at your tickets and look at your bets all the way through. 5 minimum bets is what you can do on that line. But tomorrow night we're gonna go over the captain's meeting and actually go over the bracket. Get our sponsors in, get our official picks head to head, and man, it's gonna be a good time. It's gonna be a great night. Kind of recapping again the tournament so far. Looking forward to the Sweet 16, and everybody fishes on Saturday. It's gonna be a great time, man.
Oh, absolutely. 7 p.m. Central Time tomorrow. I know a lot of our KBBT guys are in the Gray Goat teams one as well. But Al will be on with us, and we'll have the Davis clan on also. But 7 p.m. Central Time, and we're ready to rock this thing.
Yeah, man. All right, buddy. Well, listen, have a good night, man. We'll see you tomorrow. Guys, have a great night. Thanks for jumping on board tonight, and we'll catch you later. Catch you tomorrow. Take care.